Welcome to Leading the Way. This podcast is all about communication and leadership. I'm Jessica Partnow, and I'm your host for this special edition of our podcast. I've been part of the CommLead faculty for 15 years, and I teach podcasting and audio storytelling here, and I just love teaching in this program so much. So I'm really excited to be here for this extra special episode, which is made especially for our incoming cohort of students that will be joining us in the fall. So this is The Road to Orientation. We have two wonderful guests joining us today, Associate Director Alex Stonehill and Assistant Director of Outreach Liyao Zhao. Would you each introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your role here at CommLead?
For sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Alex Stonehill. I'm the associate director, one of the associate directors of the CommLead program, and my focus is on marketing and communication for the program, as well as applied learning opportunities for students and I guess sort of higher level strategy in general. I'm also a former student, graduate from cohort 19. So I was in the program as a mid-career student in the Communities and Networks track. And I also have been teaching in the program for 15. Jessica and I actually started teaching together back in, what's that, 2010 or something. So yeah. A lot of years with CommLead. I've seen a lot of wonderful students come and go, and I just love working here as well.
Thank you. And Liyao?
Hi, CommLead community. I'm Liyao Zhao, and in my role as the Assistant Director of Outreach, I oversee our program's create services and events, alumni and industry partnerships, as well as outreach to prospective students. Before joining CommLead, I would say I was also an international student who came to the United States by myself 10 years ago. So in many ways, I think I was once in your shoes. And it's truly meaningful for me to support such a global community that I deeply relate to.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today, to you both. And today we're talking about connecting with your CommLead community. And I think a lot of CommLead students come to Seattle for the program from all over the US, all over the world. And so for a lot of students, I think they're walking into the orientation not knowing a single other person. And I know it makes me think about my first day at grad school and just knowing, walking into this room and into our first sort of like welcome class session and realizing like, wow, I'm going to be like with these people for the next 2 years or maybe 3 years. And it's so interesting to walk into a room full of people that you're about to have a very intense and valuable experience with and that you don't know. So I'm really curious to talk with you both about this. And maybe first question for Alex. Can you just tell me a little bit about like what you have observed about how students make connections?
Yeah, I guess first of all, I want to acknowledge, that first day of school feeling. I know even when I was coming in as a student, even when I'd been working in the program for years, I still had that feeling of like, who am I supposed to sit with? Who am I going to talk to? What is this journey going to be like? And it is, I think some people love that feeling and some people it makes them a little bit anxious. So I guess I just want to put that out there. But I think really, the connections that happen in this program, I think it's one of the great strengths of the communication leadership program. And having seen a lot of students come through it, it does seem like some really strong connections are forged. I was on Instagram the other day and I saw a picture of 3 students who all graduated like 3 or 4 years ago. One was from, I think, here in Seattle. Another one was from Germany and another one was from Mexico. And they were all standing on the Brooklyn Bridge. So I think one of them had moved to New York and the other 2 came to visit. So definitely like lifelong friendships are being forged. That's partly because people are having this like sort of transformative experience together. So I guess to just like let that pressure off a little bit, like when you come in, most people are kind of on the same page in the same place. Most people aren't already going to know somebody. Maybe like there's a small handful of students who would be coming in knowing each other because they're from Seattle and like have worked together or things like that. But for the most part, everybody's coming in with a clean slate and are going to have this transformative experience together. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities, intentional opportunities to interact that allow you to like build those connections. So it's not, you're not really on your own. And I think most students, some students like to go through the program sort of like in their own way, keeping their own, you know, in their own life and kind of like just come to class. But the majority of students, I would say, are kind of looking to build community as well. And so we do our very best to facilitate that. And I think it does happen.
That's great. Well, and a question for Liyao, I know we have tons and tons of events in the CommLead program for all kinds of reasons, but can you tell us about some of those and how do they support new friendships forming?
Of course. Because we know that making new friends, especially if you're international students, making new friends in the new country is not an easy thing. So we are here to support you, and we organize a lot of events that you can join us. One thing that I really want to share is like we host a quarterly in-person happy hour at the beginning of each quarter on campus. And we offer free food and free drinks. You just need to show up. I think that's a great way for you to meet new friends from your cohort, from other cohort, or even with CommLead staff or with our alumni. One fun fact that I want to share, I think almost every current CommLead student have already attended at least one in-person happy hour.
Wow.
And some of them have even find CommLead job opportunities or off-campus internships or other full-time job opportunities through this kind of in-person events. Another thing that I want to share is we also have First Friday monthly events. That's more like an industry-related events that we pick up an organization and a student could connect with alumni from different organizations in person or online through those events. So keep connected with us and stay tuned, and we'll share more information via our weekly jobs email and newsletter. And other than that, I would say CommLead has a lot of student community events like movie nights, bubble tea, social events, and you can also like have a small hiking trip with your friends at CommLead. And we hire a student community coordinator to organize those small group hangouts. And we also have a student community event fund to support those events. So I think that would be a really good way for you to make new friends, and you can pick up the ones that you are interested in. So good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I love how many of those events are centered around food and drinks, which I think is so important.
Of course.
And I'm curious to ask you, what tips do you have for getting to know people, especially as a new and incoming grad student?
I mean, definitely go to all those events. That's a great place to start because there are a lot of them. And, you know, so it's very easy to sort of opt in. And then like when you do and in your classes, I think it's important to just be yourself, and share yourself with the community, whatever you're passionate about. You know, share that. A lot of the content in classes will be like, you're learning like the form of marketing or the form of UX design or the form of all of these things. But like the content inside of that form is often really flexible. So you can do projects about like, if you're interested in politics, you can do projects about politics. If you're interested in food, you can do projects about food. So there is a lot of ways to kind of show yourself inside of those contexts. And yeah, I would also like maybe advise just, I think sometimes students come in with the sense that like there's a way that everybody is supposed to be in grad school,
Mm.
or like a level of expertise or experience that everybody else has that they don't have, that sort of imposter syndrome thing. And it's really not true. Like, we have just students coming from totally diverse backgrounds, totally diverse like academic undergraduate backgrounds, totally diverse work experiences. So whatever you think that you don't know, or that makes you like not ready, everybody else is feeling the same way. So keep that in mind and just try to be who you are. And to the extent that you feel comfortable, like, share as confidently as you can, like, who you are and what you're excited about, and people will respond to that.
I certainly echo what Alex says. Find your comfortable zone. Because when we talk about getting to know people, a lot of students thought, oh, I need to know like 20 students in the first week, or
Mm.
get to network with as many people in the first month. But I feel like, to be honest, not everyone is outgoing, and sometimes some students might be introverted, and that's totally fine. Because I remember when I first came to the United States, like, my mentor shared with me that, like, think about like when you walk into a dark movie theater, what is the first thing that you will do? And I stuck there and said, I don't know. And he's like, you may not really want to do anything because it's dark. You might want to just stand there for 1 minute, and so you can adjust to the new environment, and then you will see things more clear and find your seat. So I think it's similar at
Mm.
ComLead. Like, when you start something new, take your time, like, to give yourself time, and probably you can observe what other people are doing, and then after a few weeks you will start to feel, oh, this is right for me, and this is what I'm interested in, and you will find your spot and find the people that you want to connect with.
When you think about building relationships or connections, friendships, like, when is the time to start doing that? And how do you know you're doing it right? Are those silly questions when we're talking about friendships? I don't
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
know.
Because especially when you're coming together across like a bunch of different cultural contexts as well, like some of the like social cues and norms and stuff are going to be different for
Mm.
everybody. But in some ways, maybe that like challenge is actually a strength, because there is nothing you're supposed to do. Like, what a student who just came here from Europe or from Mexico or from China, like, what they kind of expect to do in that context is going to be completely different. So, I think, again, just trying to be as bold as you can, with the recognition that is not for everybody, and some people are going to want to take time. But also remember that, like, if it doesn't happen right away, in those first few weeks, like, you're going to be in class after class after class where you're sitting next to like the same people. And by nature, this is a communication program. There's a lot of interaction and communication that happens in classes. It's not like you go and study on your own. Like, there's tons of group projects,
Mm.
and you can do study groups and stuff like that. So you'll end up collaborating around the sort of academics piece of it, even if you whether or not you want to, basically. So that's a great way, at least for me, in my experience. Like, that's the best way that I like forge relationships and community with people, is by like working together on something. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my last question for both of you is just thinking about getting ready for orientation day, thinking about this new cohort of students we have. What advice do you have for them as they're preparing, in many cases, to come to Seattle from other places in the country or other places on the globe, getting ready to come here, come to orientation, the new academic year? What advice do you have for them as they're getting ready?
I would suggest students, if you are from China, I definitely would encourage you to join our ComLead WeChat group.
Mm.
We have an official WeChat group. And if you have a question there, you will see other students have similar questions as well. And if you are from other countries, and we have a student-led WhatsApp group, so you can connect there and similar ask the question. And you will see that you have many you can make many new friends through those social media channels. And also, don't forget to check out our weekly newsletter, which includes our upcoming ComLead and university-wide events. So you can start to prepare early, even before you come to ComLead. And if you are from if you're not from Seattle, I would say come to buy vitamin D3 because Seattle's winter could be rainy, and vitamin D3 will help you to feel happy and not upside during the winter time.
Very important. And yeah, I mean, for orientation itself, plan your outfit well in advance. It's very important. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, now I'm thinking about what I'm going to wear.
No, orientation is really is designed to in the week of orientation, and including this content that we're putting together to help you get oriented. There's a lot of opportunities to interact throughout that. So just come kind of consume everything that you get from us in the meantime, and then come well rested and ready to interact and learn a little bit. And we'll have exercises that help you in breakout groups, work together with people. So there's a lot of opportunities to get together during that time.
Well, thank you both so much for joining me for this conversation on this special Road to Orientation edition of our podcast. Alex and Liyao, we've been talking about building connections, connecting with your community. I can't wait to see you both at orientation, as well as our new incoming cohort of students. And thank you so much for listening to Leading the Way. Make sure to subscribe to our feed in your favorite podcast platform, and we will be back with more episodes soon. See you next time on Leading the Way.